ass is on fire. But that can't be true because this is partial range of motion. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. I'm not even using my muscles.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding Motion. And today I climbed to the top of this hill just for fun. So you can see there's a lot of farmland behind me and all that stuff, and mountains and traffic, of course, because the highways and stuff. So, but yeah, nice area, nice scenery. But boy, are my calves killing from walking up here because it's a pretty steep upgrade, right? It's a steep incline. It's about 30 to 40 degrees. So it's a pretty wicked walk. But something came to mind just as I was doing this that is really important. And I think it's the basis of a lot of the fanatical, crazy thinking that's going on in the fitness community. And that is, people like to overcomplicate things. They like to say this fine little detail is responsible for every single result in their training or in their life or whatever. And I think you can get this type of thinking in everything. I mean, whether it's success seminars or whether it's fitness or whether it's medicine, like whatever. So what I'm gonna say is that frickin' planes, always interrupting me, man. If I had big enough guns, I'd be able to shoot that plane right out of the air. They're almost big enough, but not quite. They're not quite howitzers yet. Not the howitzers. So one thing I think that would dispel a lot of the negativity and a lot of the arguments and that stuff in the bodybuilding community is if people really understood that simplicity is the answer in most of the cases. And one of the real simple foundations of bodybuilding training is if a muscle hits exhaustion within a period of a couple seconds to 2 minutes, you're in the anaerobic window and your muscle, if it's hitting fatigue, if it's being challenged, it will adapt. That's honestly 90% of this whole game. Now, of course, we could talk about exercise form, but the other simple rule of bodybuilding and fitness is that if something injures you, it cannot be the right thing. Right? If we just reset to this simple thing and build that as your foundation and build upon that, then we have a real healthy starting point. Then from there, everything's just a detail, but it's not something that is the most important detail, you see? Because we all can agree is if you're getting injured, then that's a problem. You won't be able to continue training, you won't be able to get any results if you're injured, right? So I didn't approach my training, at least not after I was more advanced. Once I was 5 years, 6 years into my training, I started to dispel more of these idealisms, and then bodybuilding went from narcissism to exploration. And I started to explore what was working for me. I started to explore different rep ranges, different frequencies, right? I started to do the 2-day split. I started to do the whole body workout. I started to do, 4-day splits. I experimented with these different frequencies. Whereas when I was younger and I was a beginner in bodybuilding, I was so nervous about making a mistake, right? But once you start to understand that you have to find and explore what is right for you, then simplicity is what you build upon. And then, some details or some idiosyncrasies of your own situation start to become apparent to you. So this is how I got second place in the Natural Olympia. This is how I got second place in the Natural Universe 2 years in a row. This is how I got third place in the heavyweight Natural Universe Pro division in the WNBF. And this is how I won the Canadian Natural Bodybuilding title. Now I know some people out there, it doesn't matter what you do, right? One person says you're a fake natty because you look too good. Next person says you look like garbage. I'm not going to take an advice from you. I'm like, hey, I'm okay with you not taking advice from me. You don't need to take any advice from me. You can do what is working for you. That's it. I mean, if you think that my advice is crap, I'm okay with that. But remember, you're still following my advice because you're doing what you feel is right for you, right? So ironically, you're all following my advice even if you don't want to. Now, if you start doing something you don't want to do and something that doesn't work for you, which you're not doing, then you wouldn't be following my advice. See how you're caught? You're all enslaved by my philosophies. The philosophy of no philosophy. That's really it. Whatever works has to be the truth, and simplicity is where you start. So those of you who have been beginning on your physical journey, your bodybuilding journey, or you're just trying to train and just get some results and you're trying to find things out, these general rules, these 2 general rules are the most important for you to embrace. Now, there's a lot more rules, but they're not really rules. They're just things that will help your training, such as proper nutrition, proper sleep, lower the stress in your life, stuff like that. But don't get so lost into the fine minute details like, oh, I curled my arm, but it didn't go to 31 degrees. It went to, 29. Oh my God, I'm making a mistake somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get so lost in the details. Just start with fatiguing the muscle and doing ranges of motion and exercises where you don't get injured, and then build upon that. Yeah, build upon stretching, build upon flexibility if you can, but also understand that everybody is built a little bit different, and it's okay. It's okay. By embracing your own constitution, you can achieve probably greater results than others, and that's exactly what I did.
Mountain.
So yeah, I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com. And thanks a lot to the Patreon supporters. These guys are really making this possible because they're the only ones that like me. They're the only ones. And I'm okay with that. Besides the Sasquatches, because I pay them in trolls. But that's more like a bribe. That's not really real friendship, you know what I'm saying?
Natural Gallant.